Hey guys, Dreams here again. This is gonna be what if. This is gonna be another what if that's gonna be pretty unique, to be honest. Now, I posted a story, not a story, I mean, a community post about a show called Warrior. It's pretty good, to be honest. There's 3 seasons. It's one of those 53 episode, well, not 53, 53-minute episodes of a show. I'm pretty sure each season is like 10 episodes, so yeah, they're each pretty good, to be honest. Like, I'm rewatching it for the third time, and I started it, I think, a week and a half ago. But yeah. The show is basically, I'm pretty sure it was just originally Bruce Lee wanted to write it, and then he didn't have time to put it into a show before he had unfortunately passed. But yeah. So this show is basically something that Bruce Lee came up with. The main character is roughly based off, I would say, Bruce Lee himself. Andrew Koji's the actor, and he's pretty damn good. If you don't recognize Andrew Koji, if you've seen Bullet Train, he is the Japanese man with the son who's in the hospital. And then his dad is Hiroki. I forget his first name, but Sonata. Yeah, this Andrew Koji's character is the son of Hiroki Sonata in Bullet Train. So yeah, there's a few other actors in the show, but it's very big martial arts space. And the show was pretty big in COVID because I think it had pretty good Asian representation during the attacks on Asian community, so on and so forth. That sounds very disrespectful. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's all a lot of the show is about: martial arts, representation, and it doesn't shove either of those down your throat. It's a pretty good show. So yeah. Now this basically should be what if Ah Sahm was the greatest hatchet man, or the strongest hatchet man. You don't know what hatchet man is? Google it. It'd be easier than me telling you, to be honest. Okay. Now, the story begins with first the ages of Ah Sahm and Mai Ling, or Zhao Jing, her birth name. And these are very much headcanon, but these are what I believe. By the third season, I would like to believe that Ah Sahm is probably about 25, and Mai Ling is probably about 28 to 29. So she's about 3 years older than him, which is the age difference between Andrew Koji and Diane. So Diane is 33, Andrew Koji is 36. So we're going to invert that as she's 3 years older than him instead. So in season 3, he's 25, she's 28. About to turn 29, possibly. But this one we go to a few years earlier, where Mai Ling, or Zhao Jing, runs to America. She ran away to America from her warlord husband, and Ah Sahm would actually get word of this probably about a week after she ran. As she had established her presence in the country like years in advance. Like I think she was there for a little over 5 years. So yeah, because I think she was there for 5 years, but she wasn't really well known until like the year Ah Sahm gets there. So yeah, she was there 1875, and 1880 is where she really kicks off. So Ah Sahm would leave the year his sister leaves. At this point, he's about 20. She's about 23, 24. Do this, he actually doesn't know where she left. He just knows she left to America, so he left to go find her. And first he has to fight the warlord, which actually it doesn't really end well for Ah Sahm, but the Sifu came in clutch and killed the warlord. So Ah Sam's father is actually alive in this one. His father just does not play an integral role. So yeah. So with this, his Sifu did not really approve of Ah Sahm leaving, but as Ah Sahm was packing his stuff, the master just wrote down everything that he could, did it in letters and envelopes, and gave them all to Ah Sahm, telling him what he knows about the world and what he knows about martial arts. It's hard to cram it all into envelopes. Ah Sahm will have to interpret it all for himself. So with this, Ah Sahm leaves. Now Ah Sahm found on a boat to a state where Ah Sahm would be with other Chinese workers, and he would learn the phrases that he gets called by white Americans who are, like, I guess, his employers. As he gets called coolie, ducks, and then other Chinese slurs that I'm not going to say on the internet. Yeah, a lot. So Sam basically gets that part of America drilled into his brain pretty quickly. But eventually, at one point, about 3 years before the start of the story, Sam would be in. Well, we don't know if it's for the start of the story, but I'm pretty sure it is. Also, I believe some of the aging may be a bit weird, as it involves young Jun, kind of. But mainly Father Jun, but young Jun's kind of involved. Assam would be in Utah, as he had been traveling around hearing about fight clubs. And he's going here to make a name for himself as he hears about Rooker's Mill, and he's just going from Notorious Fight Club to Notorious Fight Club, throwing hands. So yeah. But Assam would be here, and he would make money by basically yelling up to the crowd at the end of the fight, saying, "I'll finish these fucks in whatever way you want for a nickel." With this, Assam would take the first nickel he sees that's thrown at him, and the guy would yell how he wants the man killed. It can be curb stomp, it can be making him eat a rock, and then, yeah. So Assam does whatever he's asked in the easiest way possible, and he makes a lot of cash off of it. And he keeps the nickels that are also thrown at him, but the first one he gets is the one who gets to choose the kill. So, yeah. But, eventually, oops, my screen kind of went too far down. Alright. Fuck. My computer's annoying, I'm sorry. One day, Assam would have a fight a larger man, and they spoke in Cantonese at first. Assam would say, "Sorry man, but I make a lot more cash doing this shit more than the average fighter like you." This man works at the railroad. Assam does part-time and then goes around fighting more guys, making more money. The larger man would say his name is Bolo, but he would smirk and look at Assam and say, "Let's see if you can kill me." As they fight, Assam noticed the water was restricting his movements. So what he did is strip into his briefs, and began leaping off the walls, and clinging onto them, jumping and landing on Bolo, punching him in the face. We see a barrage of Superman punches and knees and elbow strikes. But eventually, at one point, Assam would leap off the wall and elbow Bolo clean across the face. Now Bolo hit the ground, and the coins began flying. When Assam got the first coin, he was about to kill a guy until he felt a wad of cash hit his head. It was fall in the water, but he put his foot out and kicked it back over his head and into his hand. And he would basically look at the man who threw it, and he would speak Cantonese, saying, "Spare him. I feel like recruiting him. You as well." At the end, Bolo just spit out blood, as Assam would just punch him in the face with an uppercut, knocking him out. The old man's random guy with him would drag Bolo out of the water and bring him up to the man and Assam. Bolo would sit up, kind of laughing, and he just says, "You hit me harder than those fucks who hit me with rocks." As Bolo gets hit in the face with rocks a lot, and Assam just is using elbows and momentum. But eventually, Assam kind of laugh at that, and he says, "The ducks called it physics. Sounds like some smart shit. The way I do it, I jump, I fall, and it adds power." The old man would walk over, saying, "So you're battle savvy, and you speak and understand perfect English. But somehow you weren't smart enough to realize physics is in China too. We're just too fucking broke to be taught." And this old man was more or less annoyed that Assam was kind of speaking higher of another race. But Assam would just stand up, stare down at the old man, and say, "What's your name, you old bastard?" Only for a hatchet man to go try to smack Assam. But quickly, Assam would kick the man in the chest, and then elbow him clean across the jaw. And as the man's hatchet fell, Assam caught it pretty quickly, and just slammed it into the ground. Now for Assam's martial arts, he uses Wing Chun, but after his fight with Li Yong, he seems to use Jeet Kune Do as well. Now Assam uses Jeet Kune Do, Wing Chun, and a bit of Tai Chi. But in this one, due to Assam having street fighting experience and also trying to adjust to any fights as quickly as possible, he uses Wing Chun, Jeet Kune Do, Tai Chi, street fighting, and self-taught Muay Thai. It's not great because it is self-taught, but he's trying his best. And street fighting isn't as good as Leary, but he can throw hands, kind of like Bill and stuff. As we do see, Bill has some hands. So yeah. Pause. Okay, sorry about that. Now the man asks Assam what he wants, not even answering his question on what his name is. But Assam just says, "I'm traveling and looking for a woman. If you find a girl named Zhao Jing, tell me." As he does tell him, he's traveling state to state with the most fight clubs. As he has another state in mind next, or a town. But he does mention that tongs have no use to him at all. And Assam would end up by saying, "Also, I asked you a question, since you're obviously the leader of a tong. What's your name? And answer before I kick your teeth in. And I'll do it before you can even grab that hatchet or reach for a pistol." The man just laughed and said, "Call me Father Jun." And he would just laugh, leaving a bolo. And Assam himself would just leave, getting a bit more money from Father Jun. And Assam would also kind of just loot the knocked out hatchet man that Father Jun drags away, or Bolo drags away for Father Jun. For a few more weeks, Assam fights there, collecting about $2,500. Then next up, he would head to a border town with the name of Rooker's Mill, and proceed to throw hands and fight there as well, collecting more and more money. Now, Assam did get some memorabilia from Bolo, being a railroad spike, and he would start to take memorabilia from every place he went to. From Utah, a hatchet and a railroad spike. From Georgia, a sickle, and from Rooker's Mill, some brass knuckles. Assam was a champion of Rooker's Mill for about 2 years in a row. So $2,500 2 times. And he actually fought for Rooker, as Rooker basically challenged everyone in the state to come beat his champion. And Assam had known the title of Bolo, the Yellow Demon, and due to his experience there, he got called the Yellow Devil. This is what they viewed as above a demon. And Assam kind of viewed it as pretty cringy and honestly racist, but he didn't mind it. It was still pretty vicious to some guys. So yeah, and for Assam's martial arts, a lot of these are self-taught, but he still knows them. Jeet Kune Do, Wing Chun, Tai Chi, Shaolin Kung Fu, Hung Gar, boxing, street fighting, and Muay Thai. His one street fighting is on par with Leary, if not better. His boxing is what he incorporates in street fighting, so basically just dirty boxing, and he's pretty damn good at it. His Muay Thai is still not great, but it was better than it was 2 years ago. So, yeah. Pause. Okay. Yeah. But eventually, Assam does travel to San Francisco. And it's not actually travel to San Francisco, but a pretty rich guy. So, wait, hold up one more time. Sorry. So, Assam was champion of Rooker's Mill 2 years in a row, $2,500 each time, and he would still do the finishers for nickels. And then after that, about a year before the story, he had left one more time, and then would go around to more and more states, and just throwing more and more hands. But eventually, he does land in San Francisco after deciding his sister would likely be there. You just hear about just certain tongs having certain brothels, and those tongs happen to be in San Francisco. So, yeah. Eventually, when he does get there, he gets in a different way by basically mentioning, or first speaking like an American, saying that his grandfather's an American. He's here to see him as he's getting sick and on his last years. He needs a caretaker. So with that, he's allowed in. His grandfather's long dead, but still. But, yeah. Now, with this, some would walk through the streets of Chinatown, and while he walks through it, he would basically see 2 Irishmen beating on some Chinese residents, but they don't die yet. But as they're being beaten, Assam would basically just walk up to the men, and when they look up at him to just go beat him next, all he does is give them both just 2 quick kicks to the chest. They fall back, and Assam basically helps the men on their feet, the Chinese residents, and walks them around to help them find somewhere to rest. Eventually, a guy named Chow offers them a place for a small price, and Assam agrees. So with that, they're brought in, and yeah. So as they're brought in, and Assam pays Chow about $50. So yeah. But we just keep going on, and Assam would eventually talk to Chow. But Chow doesn't know Assam has a ton of money in a bag. So Assam has about $10,000. So it's this is 1880, so he has $240,000 in today's amount of cash. So yeah. But with this, Chow and Assam talk, and Assam is given some advice. Don't bring a tong to look for a girl. The Wang Zi, the Feng Hai, and the Hop Wei take the girl seriously. And Chow basically said it in this way. Great sticky brings great money. If your lady friend is in the wrong tong, when you join a certain one, you will certainly be fucked. As other tongs, you don't go to other tongs' brothels. So with this Chow basically gives him one more piece of advice, telling him stay neutral or just do some recon first. And well, Asam gets to run down on the tongs with a map. I think all the tongs are Hopway, Longzi, Fanghai, and a few more. I can get all of them off the top of my head. Those are like the three main ones. That's all we know. Then there's the one with that old guy, the guy who played the bald sushi guy in John Wick 3. That's the only other guy I remember. But yeah. Eventually, with the advice and stashing the two guys, and Assam actually getting more updated brass knuckles and having his sickle maintained, he pays Chow about $200 of his $10,000. So yeah. Plus, Assam actually buys a small place to stay because she told the cops that he was here to take care of his elderly grandfather. Well, all Tom needed to do was basically just vouch that he was American, which wasn't really too hard considering how he spoke and how much he talked about other states. And he mentioned that he's actually from Georgia. He is not, but he says it. So with this, they should allow him to stay in the White Territory, but they basically make him stay as close to Chinatown as he can. With it, Assam does not live in Chinatown. He lives in the more white areas, but he is basically on the border of Chinatown. And Assam would look around and do some recon for about 3 days. He went around different territories and visited a few brothels, but saying Zhao Jing enough still got him in front of Li Yong. Li Yong would ask him, why are you looking for Zhao Jing? Assam had a pretty annoyed look on his face, but he says, I don't know why you care. It's not your business. But if you keep asking, all you intelligent fucks are going to have your jaws wired shut before you can even run to your ama. Well, now I get annoyed and raise his hatchet towards Assam. Assam would do a quick elbow to the guy's chest and flick his fist upwards into the man's nose, breaking it. Then his hatchet would drop, Assam would catch it, and would throw it, landing handle first into another guy's head. Assam would run, kick said man in the face, and would basically proceed to just deliver quick 1-2 combos, which takes out every single hatchet man until he gets to Li Yong. Li Yong and him get ready to fight, and as they continue to basically clash, all they do is invert its grappling and throw the other. But Assam is landing on his feet while Li Yong keeps landing on his back. It's realized that Assam fights dirty. But he does mention the way he fights dirty is basically but using a lot of just different martial arts at once. Like first he'll start off in Jeet Kune Do, then immediately transfer to boxing. And then it can be Hung Gar into Tai Chi. It's just very different. Assam just fights to be hard to read. But eventually, Zhao Jing does come down, call herself Mai Ling, and then eventually she does tell Assam, like she was no longer Zhao Jing. So when Assam basically got the gist of what Mai Ling was saying, he just made a vow. He's going to use another tong to crush this one and force his sister back to China. She would ask him about why he would do that when her life is so good here, and he mentions that his master killed the warlord. She's fine in China. He's rich. He makes a lot of money. Even if he doesn't want to go to China, he's very notable even in Mexico right now. She just needs to come with him. She says no. Assam just says fuck you, and he leaves. But the next day, Father Jun wakes up to a lot of ruckus, and Bolo is sitting on the edge of his bed. Bolo sharpening his railroad spike and just laughs, saying that bastard Assam is in San Francisco. Immediately, Father Jun just sits up, gets dressed, and they wait in the main office. Gets in the main room. But as Assam gets to the door, he gets to young Jun, pull out his daggers, rushing at Assam, only for Assam to basically pull out his sickle, will slash at young Jun. Jun does jump back, but when he jumps back, Assam would basically pull out the hatchet that he has with him as well, and slam the handle right into young Jun's solar plexus. Young Jun coughs, and then proceeds to basically get kicked in the solar plexus. He keeps coughing, and ended with an elbow clean to the chin. He falls to the ground, barely able to breathe. Then when he comes to the main door to the office, all Assam does is just kick it open, as he puts his weapons away. Bolo was the first one to speak, saying, "Long time no see, Assam. I would have come out to fight you, but I was kind of worried I'd have to fight a naked guy again." And that was a reference to Assam and him fighting when Assam was in his briefs, because the water was restricting, all that. Someone would just laugh, and so was Bolo, but young Jun would just rush in, pushing Assam to the side, and standing in front of his dad. But Assam just ignores that and just says, "Oh, fuck you, Bolo." They end up dapping each other up, resembling the Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers dap up from, I think, was Predator. So yeah. But Father Jun would speak now and said, "You declined my offer 3 years ago, but today of all days, what makes you burst into my home, beat my men, kick the shit out of my son, and act like nothing's wrong with that?" Ah Sahm would kind of smirk, saying, we'll first think it over, thinking about Chow and Atoy, who figured out some of his stuff. He says, "Someone knows, but you can pretty easily buy that guy's loyalty. So here it is. Because if I say it and you want to attack me, I can pretty easily kill everyone here. My Ling is my sister. I wanted to bring her back home, but she said no. Now I'm here asking for help to destroy the Long Z and every other Tong here. If you want to destroy them, I'll help you absorb them, but make sure my Ling is out of the Long Z. I'm forcing her back to China." Because he just views her idea of ruling over China as ridiculous. And first, immediately, Father Jun says he agrees it's ridiculous because she's a woman, but Ah Sahm says, it's not ridiculous because she's a woman. It's ridiculous because she doesn't need to be an empress. We have an emperor of China. She wants to be an emperor, run for it properly, not rule over a bunch of working class people who came here to survive, not be ruled. Once she just views it as she's being unnecessarily confident or possessive over these people. That's what it is. And he's gonna show her that it's bad. But yeah. But eventually, he does say that he's doing this because he has enough money to live well, and enough skill to fight and beat anyone. And if they want to fight dirty, he can do that too. And Bolo would kind of mumble to himself, saying, "Yeah, I know that better than anyone." And Young Jun shares the sentiment. But Father Jun and Bolo agree, and they allow Ah Sahm to join. They brand his arm, but they tell him that, to leave, you're gonna need something to be burned into you. And they hold up the sword, telling him that they use that to burn away the branding. Pause. Alright, sorry about that. Ah Sahm gets branded, and he does reveal all the secrets to Young Jun specifically, just because he doesn't really still fully trust Father Jun. And he tells these all to Young Jun just because Young Jun tried to offer him a place at the Hot Boy territory in the hideout. Father Jun just gave Ah Sahm a bit more leeway, and he basically disguises it as he can scrap pretty well. And to be honest, who's gonna stop him if he says no? So yeah, so when Ah Sahm reveals that he lives in the non-Chinatown area, which is mainly because it's also out of control of the Tongs, now he mentions to Young Jun, he can hang out there if he needs to, bring whoever he wants back, just stay out of his bedroom and the kitchen. So with that, Young Jun and Ah Sahm kind of just crash at Ah Sam's house most of the time, hanging out. And this is where Young Jun needs to know Ah Sam's backstory. But Young Jun also asks Ah Sahm, can he even use weapons he has? Ah Sahm says yes, and Ah Sahm just begins teaching Young Jun kind of just street fighting and how to fight dirty with daggers. Ah Sahm is accustomed to most weapons and fighting against it. So now Ah Sam's kind of just Young Jun's teacher. So yeah. Eventually we move on to the Hopway and the Longzi molasses escorts. Below Young Jun and Ah Sahm would be hiding in wait, as Longzi would buy off a cop to walk away, and they want to escort their molasses to their territory. But immediately, the Bolo's first one to run out. A man would turn around with a hatchet slashing at Bolo, but he would block with his railroad spike, and with brass knuckles on, would punch the man in the chest as hard as he could. The man spit out blood, but before he could even react, he just gets a railroad spike through the temple. We move on to Young Jun, who would basically be running out of man. The man pulls out his hatchet, but Young Jun would throw a dagger right into his arm, right into the man's hand, and then he would just jump, slamming the dagger into the man's throat, and then just dragging it down. Two more guys would run at Ah Sahm, but Ah Sahm would just run, basically just pull a Liu Kang, sending them both sliding back. And final one, Ah Sahm would basically just give him the meanest right hook with brass knuckles in his fist, and the man's jaw is obliterated. Final guy tries to run at Ah Sahm again, but he just gets two daggers to the shoulders and a railroad spike to the thigh. The man falls to one knee, but Ah Sahm would just run at him as fast as he can, and just give him the meanest drop kick to the face, but his neck would just snap as he hits the kind of the edge of the cart. So, yeah. But the man is dead, and when Young Jun tries to bring the molasses, Ah Sahm tells him stop as he has a better idea. He mentions that they can either sell the molasses at a cheaper price or give it away as a showing of good faith towards other smaller tongs, and that could buy them loyalty. So with this, they should keep the molasses hidden near Ah Sahm's apartment. Actually, in Ah Sahm's apartment. So, as it's hidden there, some actually will talk to Chow about other places who might want to buy molasses. Because it's legit and straight from China molasses, some would actually be able to find out about Happy Jack and establish a relationship with him by selling him the molasses, at least some of it, and giving the rest to smaller tongs. We actually bought some allies for the Hop Way. And Father Jun hears about this, actually telling Ah Sahm was a good idea, as he wasn't going to take their non-Chinese molasses. Ah Sahm lied about where it was from to other people, but it worked. And Father Jun does actually tell Ah Sahm that he won't let them make shots like this all the time, but if they're smart and he asks first, he'll be more likely to be told yes. So yeah. But we move on a few days later when Ah Sahm and Young Jun were collecting. Now, Ah Sahm would actually tell the man, he would tell Young Jun, be gentle and be, not be gentle, but be understanding. If they can't pay it, I will. As Ah Sahm does secretly pay some people's debts if they can't fully afford it. So, yeah, not debt, but he pays some of their protection money. But, yeah. But still with this, a lady would walk over and she'd be mad at Ah Sahm, telling him, this is pretty wicked what you're doing. It's not polite. But Sam would speak up and say, trust me, the way we do it is gentle compared to what others would do to him. Hop Way, think of us as the gentleman among Chinese gangs. A lady known as Penelope and her Chinese assistant Jacob, which kind of just gasped. She says, you speak like an American. Sam hearing that across the states would be a bit annoyed, says, no, I speak like me. Now be on your way. He turned Jacob away, bowing at Jacob, but waving her off. And the two leave. Pause. Oh, sorry about that. Penelope is still attacked by two drunken Irishmen, but Ah Sahm would still arrive, just because plot. Now, when he arrives, he actually knows better than fight them in the middle of their territory. What he does instead actually just push them away and tell them, hey, back off. And he's openly yelling, saying he's asking to kindly back away from this polite young lady. And Penelope actually joins in, screaming, 2 Irishmen are attacking me. Immediately, people walk out knowing who Penelope is and begin ridiculing the 2 Irishmen. When Ah Sahm is arrested, these people don't really care about Ah Sahm being arrested, but they do actually cheer on the police arresting the 2 Irish guys. Except for the Irish mob. So, there's already a bit of problems here now. But when someone is arrested, they actually try to disguise it as he's arrested for being in a tong, but the 2 men were arrested for attacking the mayor's wife. And this time the entire Irish community actually knows these 2 men were attacking the wife of the mayor. And Leary had heard about a man defending her, and they still try to attack her. So now she has a reason to beat the shit out of these 2 guys. The entire community, who supported the mayor but aren't really fans of those 2 guys, well, the community is kind of split in half. Which was the intent. But on Ah Sahm's way to the jail cell, he's escorted by Bill and Lee. And while Ah Sahm's being brought to his cell, he actually would look at Lee and say, I recognize you. Lee was confused and says, from where? I never been to China. But Ah Sahm would kind of laugh, saying, oh, not from there, from Georgia. You're a pretty well-known guy there. Lee would immediately just stop and tell Bill break time, and he walks away. Bill pushes him into a cell with 2 men, and they do try to fight Ah Sahm, but he pretty easily just he bitches them because he makes them flinch and they sit back down. That was it. But yeah. Now with this, Bill and Lee have to have their talk earlier, and well, their friendship develops a lot more quickly. Sorry about that. That was a water bottle I dropped. Alright. With this, the public knows about Ah Sahm, who's arrested protecting the mayor's wife. The mayor just says, oh, it's because he was using a tong, but apparently he's recent, and he has no crimes against him, aside from affiliation. So he will have a high bail, $100. And with this, well, the person to bail him out is actually Penelope, or she tries to. Due to Lee knowing that would not be good for her public image, she says, leave the money here and leave as fast as you can. I'm hiding the money right now. I'll let Ah Sahm out. With this, during late hours, Ah Sahm is let out before the two Irishmen. So with this, when Leary does arrive to let the men out, she asks where the Chinaman is. And he calls him John Chinaman. And they should say, oh, he was bailed out by some unknown person. Which doesn't annoy Leary that the Chinaman was bailed out before two honest working Irishmen. But yeah. Now, eventually, Ah Sahm does return to the brothel, and it's a welcoming party. But when Father Jun tries to punish Ah Sahm actually mumbles in Cantonese, saying, "I have dirt on some of the cops on the Chinatown squad, and now I gave us some favor among the Irish and the non-Irish. I can either help you use it, or you can hit me, and I'll forget I know all this." Father Jun would just yell, "I'm kidding. The Ducks left us alone for a bit, and I got some small deals done." Here's a glass, and yelled to Ah Sahm. But he was glaring at Ah Sahm the entire time. And he got no deals done, so that was just a lie. But Young Jun and Bolo both know that Ah Sahm has some leverage over most of the Hop Way, so plus he actually kind of buys most of the gang, so So yeah, so the party goes on. They drink and party all night with some sticky going Ah Sam's way. And him and Young Jun both like up in his apartment. Young Jun on his couch, and Ah Sahm in his bed. Well, halfway in his bed, halfway not, but yeah. But eventually, Young Jun and Ah Sahm get a job to escort a corpse across the desert. And this time, Ah Sahm is actually called a translator, as when they ask about the Chinaman, he actually says, "Oh, I'm a translator. I'm partly American." And he says he's born in Georgia. That's a lie. He wasn't, but it's easier to talk to people this way. So yeah, and plus he mentioned he's it gives him kind of a southern twang to some people. So yeah, pause. With this, Ah Sahm is a bit more welcome by some people because he says he's from Georgia. He isn't, but he spent the most time there. And he mentions he speaks a bit of Spanish too. He does. Yeah. But eventually, the hired muscle has been annoyed that Ah Sahm is speaking English, and he says, "Huh, Chinese man speaking American. How fucking stupid." But some was calling him an idiot for calling it American. It's in more than one country. Now, with this, eventually, Young Jun and Ah Sahm get to the parlor, and while they're there, the I would say a lot of this is the same until the hired muscle pulls a gun. When he pulls a gun, Ah Sahm would actually throw a chopstick at his eye before he can even blink. The man's hit in the eye with a chopstick. Doesn't impale him with it. He just actually falls back a bit. But immediately, Young Jun will grab him by the arm, aiming his gun away, and punches the man in the throat very quickly, taking the gun and putting it in his pocket. Good thing he did that though, because right as he did that, Harlan and his gang walked in and began doing their usual escapades. But they weren't patted down, which was the biggest mistake of Harlan's gang. As they just asked for money. Thing is, that most of them turned around. Well, Young Jun would immediately knowing how to use a gun due to Ah Sahm actually teaching him a lot of things. So before, Ah Sahm is kind of Young Jun's teacher. Young Jun just laid out fire on Harlan's men, knowing how to shoot, killing at least 3 of them, and injuring a few more. But immediately, as soon as a few ran to take cover, I saw him actually run, leaping off one of the stairs through the window, going outside behind a few of them, and who were taking cover, and he tore out one guy's throat, taking his rifle. He broke him by the throat, tore it out, and immediately took the man's rifle, and began shooting down into Harlan's gang. Harlan tried to hide, but at the moment that he tried to, the barkeep who had the double-barrel shotgun would shoot him right on top of the head. That ended him right then and there. With this, Harlan's gang is wiped out almost as quickly as they arrived. And immediately the barkeep was kind of surprised, telling them that if it was that easy the entire time, he should have done it a long time ago. But something says, it's not easy, it takes skill. We have a lot of that. So with this, no one ever knows about the gold, but Assam does have a small suspicion. He never bothers to confirm it because there's no reason to do so. So yeah. And the Native American prostitute, I think her name was like Wakeda. I'm gonna figure it out real quick. Wankea, that was her name, Wankea. So she's allowed to come with, and Assam speaking to her whenever English he knows, and then begins converting what he says to Cantonese for her. And so she's learning how to slowly convert English to Cantonese. She's kind of learning both languages at the same time, and Young Jun is learning whatever language she speaks. I don't think it was ever confirmed what language she speaks. But yeah, now on to the Chinatown Festival. Due to Assam having his affair with like Penelope, but him actually just telling her that he wants her to see the festival. With that, they end up going out to the festival, but they stay somewhat far away from each other. But they're within like eyesight of each other. He still has Assam's just a bit of a different guy here. But when the dynamite is thrown, Assam actually sees it. Running into the crowd, kicking the man on top of the head as hard as he can, running up to Bolo, and tackling him and Father Jun. Not tackling him, but grabbing Father Jun, running off the stage, saving for Bolo. And the bomb goes off, and Assam is shot right into Young Jun, and Assam is holding Father Jun. With that, Assam has actually taken the brunt of the blast, burning his back. But Father Jun was fine. Young Jun has a pretty big bruise on his back because he was sent flying into a wall with two grown men barreling towards him. So, yeah. Now, with this due to Assam being the one to start it, she does mention that this was not done by Long Zi, it was done by Feng Hai, likely to undermine Long Zi, as he was the one who actually attacked the bomber. And, well, people still died, but people started running. Well, actually, no one died. Actually, no one died just because of Assam running in and kicking a guy in the face and tackling someone. I'm pretty sure they gave a few people some clues to run away. Even if that wasn't a clue to run away because of a bomb, it was a clue to run away because a man attacked someone. So let's say instead of 3 injuries, there were 5, but no one died yet. They're fine. Well, they're not fine, but they're not dead. So with this, I would say instead of raiding the Long Zi casinos, they raid Feng Hai casinos. And Assam is actually the main one to do it on his own, as he would run into a casino and basically be cutting down guys with a sickle and a hatchet. By the time he's done, then Bolo and Young Jun walk into a room. This Bolo had raided his own room up himself. Young Jun had a random straggler helping him. But as soon as Young Jun and Bolo walk in, they say, "Damn, Assam," as they see a few more than 3 non-connected heads. Assam just nods his head and throws into a cigarette. Catches it, puts it in his mouth, and they walk away. But back to Bill and Lee. A Georgian bounty hunter would still approach Bill, and he talks about Lee. Thing is, every cop in the precinct knows about Lee's history. Because Lee told Bill earlier, at this point, Lee and Bill, I compare their friendship to late season 1, where Lee's coming over to their house to eat dinner every night, all that. Or that might be early season 2, but I'm pretty sure it's late season 1. But their friendship is at their peak right now. When Bill is being told about Lee's backstory, Bill actually says, "Oh yeah, I know. Everyone here does." But I'm like, "Oh, none of you wanted a good $500. Immediately, the commissioner would walk out, or the police chief would walk out, shooting the man right on one of his knees, and tells the men, bring him to the cell. He attacked a police officer. Immediately, he's dragged into the cell, and he's kept in there. And Bill would actually give Leary the man's money. It's while they took the man's stuff, had some money, and immediately Bill gives Leary some money, telling him, "There's a guy who attacked a cop. Some guys in there to teach him a lesson." And he just mentioned it's Lee, who's actually pretty chill with Bill right now. So yeah. So with this, Leary says, "All right, I'll do it, but I'm not doing any more favors for a regular American guy." So with this, some Irishmen walk into the bounty hunter cell and basically beat him to death. So yeah. Well, we move on to plan to kill Long Zi, the man, not the gang. Orders given by Father Jun. Father Jun had discreetly told Bolo to also kill Mai Ling. Only Jun knew about this, and due to him having actually a strong loyalty to Ah Sahm, he has to tell Ah Sahm something. I saw some info on Mai Ling, but it's very important to the gang, and I can't just tell you out in the open. Give me $15. I'll give you everything that I know. Got it? Ah Sahm just nods and would actually pull out $15, telling Young Jun to speak. And Young Jun just says, you just give him the plan, the location of the extra house, and tells him, I'm giving you all this, but you cannot kill Bolo. Beat him as hard as you want, just make sure he is not dead or in a coma. Got it? And Assam just nods, dropping the money, and running as fast as he can. So he spares time not needing to talk to a toy or interrogate a few girls. And he arrived as Bolo had finished kicking down Longzi's door. But he turned around to hear footsteps, and he just got a dragon kick to the face. He was sent flying through the house and landed on the ground. As soon as he landed, Mai Ling came downstairs a bit nervous, but when Bolo looked at her, Assam stared down at him saying, Bolo, if you touch a hair on her head, I swear to God, I'll shove that rail spike so far up her ass, you'll shit rust and steel. Got it? Pause. Sorry about that. But Bolo, having the threat of having a rail spike shoved up his ass, kind of annoyed him. So, as they fight, they actually kill some of Longzi's men in the process. And they continue clashing. But eventually, Bolo would go into hit Assam in the face with a rail spike. Assam would grab his arm, kick out one of his legs, and they pick up Bolo and slam him down on the couch, completely destroying the couch and knocking out Bolo. Then Mai Ling came from the stairs with a knife, but Assam would be pretty easily to run and jump through the side of the stairs, like over the railing, but under the ceiling, and that went past Mai Ling. Then as he was running, he would jump onto the stairs, crushing them. And Mai Ling actually fell through one of them. She wasn't injured, but she fell. Assam got up the stairs and approached Longzi. Longzi actually asks Assam who he is and if he's going to kill him. Assam says, yeah, he is, but he tells him that he's Mai Ling's little brother, and he tells Longzi what he wants to do. Longzi says, all right, just make sure she's fine. Just make sure she lives a good life. She deserves it. Assam would just nod, and that's Longzi how he wants to die. Fast or slow. And Longzi just says, make it as fast and painless as you can. I'm too old to feel all that. Assam just nod, hold his hand out to Longzi's chest, and with a 1-inch punch, he basically just immediately stops Longzi's heart. Longzi didn't really feel any pain. He just feels his heart stop, and everything goes black. So, yeah. With this, Longzi's dead, and Assam leaves. So with this, Mai Ling asks if he's dead, and Assam says, yeah, he had a heart attack. She's like, wait, what? He had a heart attack? Then Mai Ling think, he was going to die at any point in the day. Everything got to him when he had a heart attack. So with that, Assam, she tells Father Jun, he got there with Bolo, and he made sure to make it look like a heart attack. So no one knows how long as he died. They just know he got sick and his men were killed before he died, but we didn't get to kill him ourselves. So yeah. Father Jun's a bit annoyed, and she tells Assam to fight Bolo in front of them, because he wants to see if Bolo got any better, and if Assam deserves to be punished. If he wins, no punishment. If he loses, severe punishment. So, yeah. But, so now Bolo and Assam have to fight in front of the Hopway, in exchange for Assam to not get punished. But, yeah. The fight begins, Bolo threw the first punch. Someone headbutt his fist, and a loud crack was heard. Before Bolo could even flinch, Assam would actually just give him the meanest liver shot as hard as he could, making Bolo stumble back. But then Assam would push his forearm in Bolo's neck against the wall, and basically just giving him uppercut after uppercut into the sternum. Bolo spit out blood, but as soon as Assam let go, he would finish up with one more uppercut clean to the chin, making Bolo stumble back. As soon as Bolo had fallen, Assam would just break his leg, slamming it right into Bolo's liver. Bolo coughed up blood and passed out. And that fight lasted a good 50 seconds, maximum. That was not a long fight for Assam. And Sam just makes a joke as he sits on Bolo's stomach, telling him, "You lost faster than our first fight, and Father Jonan saved you from death again. Count your blessings till I hop away." And he walks away. But still, after this, the Longzi and the Hopway still set their duel up between Li Yong and Ah Sahm. And then fight versus Bolo was more than anything, just proving that he was a good fighter. So yeah. But yeah, so now the duel between Ah Sahm and Li Yong. Fight begins with Ah Sahm eventually throwing the first kick, which gets blocked and grabbed, but Ah Sahm just twists and he kicks at Li Yong. But obvious, so when Li Yong blocked it, Ah Sahm would land down and run at Li Yong. Li Yong went in for a punch, and Ah Sahm would take it, using exaggerated amounts of force. Honestly, Ah Sahm stumbled back like he would just stumble back like once, but it made it seem like he was being knocked out from that first punch. So as he took it and just kind of began to fall, he would just swing a certain direction. Let's say like he falls to the left, but he would immediately raise his right leg, and using the momentum of him falling and just a force of a kick, Li Yong is knocked to the ground immediately. Li Yong hit the ground, and Ah Sahm raised his leg, axe kicking Li Yong in the side. Li Yong had yelled, but Ah Sahm grabbed him by the hair after picking him up, and would begin going into a jab, cross, hook, uppercut combo. Eventually, Li Yong does just get bloody beaten, and he tries to take the stance he did towards the end of the fight in Cannon, where he was losing, but then the stance made him mean to win the fight. But when he did take that stance, immediately Ah Sahm took the same stance, and him and Li Yong began fighting, doing similar moves. But at one point, Li Yong goes in for another punch, and Ah Sahm actually dodge, like he just kind of just ducks, and would kick Li Yong right in the side. I guess in the stomach, actually. Li Yong fell back, it got on one knee, but Ah Sahm would just run, jumping off of Li Yong's knee, and he thinks about where he's going to land the final blow, which is going to be an elbow. He thinks top of the head, the shoulder, no, the chest. And he lands it right on Li Yong's chest, basically, kind of at the cross section of your collarbone, like where your chest is going in and going to your neck. So Sahm lands the attack there, and Li Yong just falls over right then and there. And when he's still coughing, Ah Sahm would just stand over him, and he punches clean to his face, kind of like he's punching through wooden boards. Li Yong's knocked out, and Ah Sahm take the belt off of him, raising it up as being victorious. And he was hit one singular time, having a single bruise on his cheek. So, yeah. So, with this, the fight means that the status quo, the treaty remains the same, making Longzi look less desirable, due to their stronger force being beaten, someone who is new on the Tong scene, but also they don't get to claim any new territory. If anything, there's supposed to be no benefit for anyone, but there's benefit for the Hop Way. A newbie is stronger than the strongest force of the Longzi. But now we go back to Bill and Lee's storyline. The Feng Hai are having issues. With the previous molested deal of the Hop Way, and then the raiding the Hop Way did to the Feng Hai, due to the fucking festival that Ah Sahm confronted was Feng Hai doing, they're down men, and they are down money. So with this, instead of opening another casino, they just have two guys on debt collection 24/7. So with this, the Feng Hai aren't really able to recruit Bill as they can't pay him. They cannot. So with this, Bill's fine. And so is Lee. Thinking if they're going to attack Lee, they're going to send two random cops and then be fucking destroyed. So, yeah. Pause. Sorry about that. Now we go back to Ah Sahm. So with this dude, Ah Sahm never losing the fight and not really ever being injured, he doesn't need to spend time working as a coolie. But he was able to learn of their work via the news, and due to his knowledge of Chinese worker opinions, throughout his travel. With this, due to him having still some connection with Penelope and their relationship not really taking a sour note. If anything, they stopped having as much adult activity, but they end up still talking a lot. He's able to actually recommend that he work as security professionally. So with this, he begins working as security for her company a lot earlier. So there's really there's no storyline of Ah Sahm working for Penelope's dad. It's more or less immediately a storyline is Ah Sahm establishing working for Penelope's father. And there's no need for them to hide molasses, due to them having a relationship with Smaller Tongs and a relationship with Happy Jack. Well, there's really no need for them to hide molasses with Penelope's father's company. So they're completely fine. So, yeah. Now, when Leary does try to attack workers, Assam doesn't notice Leary's street skill, and begins to fight Leary using similar moves. And it's pretty easy, as he's incorporating boxing techniques and a lot of street fighting. But Assam, due to him knowing boxing and Leary and being better at street fighting, he is basically dominating Leary. Now, Leary was losing the entire time. Bullet sealed his fate was when he went in for a right hook. Saw him go around by the forearm, flip him onto his back, and when he hit the ground, well, Sam would just slam his fist down with his knuckle, with his middle finger knuckle extended, slamming it right into Leary's solar plexus. Leary coughed, and Assam kept doing it over and over and over again, until Leary coughed up blood and passed out. So, yeah. Now, Assam standing up, spitting on him, and saying, "My night, you fucking duck," kicking him in the face and walking away. Which ends Season 1. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more. Watch and stream Warrior on Netflix. Give it 2 thumbs up and add it to your list. Alright, adios.